You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome. It feels like we're living in this incredibly fast-paced, exhilarating time for AI, right? Groundbreaking developments, some really surprising twists hitting us practically every day.
Absolutely. It's a whirlwind.
So our goal today is really to cut through all that noise, unearth the crucial insights from everything that's happened recently.
And we're not just looking at what's happening, but digging into why it actually matters to you. We'll try and connect some maybe seemingly separate pieces of info, giving you that truly informed perspective on the cutting edge, so you can walk away feeling hopefully completely up to speed.
Right, let's do it. Okay, so let's jump into the wild ride that is AI business strategy right now. The big headline grabbing attention: Cognition acquiring Windsurf. But this isn't your standard acquisition story. Before this, Google actually did this massive $2.4 billion reverse acqui-hire. They basically cherry-picked just Windsurf's leadership.
Right, the talent grab.
Exactly. A reverse acqui-hire, they just wanted the people, not the whole company, which left Windsurf's remaining 250-person team and a pretty healthy $82 million in annual recurring revenue just sitting there.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is the ripple effect, Cognition steps in, and boom, they get significant AI coding agents, IDE capabilities.
Explain IDE quickly.
Oh, right, integrated development environment. It's basically the toolkit, the software workspace where developers write and test their code.
Got it. So Cognition gets all that.
Which immediately positions them to compete, really go head-to-head with companies like Cursor, which, is reportedly pulling in $500 million ARR.
Wow.
But there's a critical detail here about Windsurf. Apparently, they lost their Anthropic API access right when there were rumors of an OpenAI acquisition swirling around.
Ouch. That would weaken their position significantly.
Hugely. Does this mean the sale price was, well, maybe way below what you'd expect, even with these inflated AI coding valuations? It kind of suggests that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
So basically caught between Google taking their leaders and then losing key tech access. What a roller coaster for them.
Absolutely.
Okay, so shifting gears from M&A. Here's where things get really interesting on the strategic side. Meta. Yes, Meta. They're actually considering, or so the reports say, abandoning their big open source model, Behemoth, thinking about moving to closed development.
Wow, okay. That would be a massive philosophical pivot for them, wouldn't it, given their whole history with OpenAI?
Exactly. A huge potential shift.
This whole thing touches on a really interesting question about AI creativity, or maybe the lack of it sometimes. Current LLMs, these large language models, they often lack what you might call background process.
Background process,
Yeah.
like subconscious thought.
Kind of that human ability to just form novel connections between things that don't seem related, like when we're daydreaming. And some researchers think that's why AI hasn't really made truly new, groundbreaking discoveries yet. The idea is that real innovation might need something less structured, more like that human daydreaming state, not just processing data.
Structured daydreaming for machines.
Yeah.
That's a fascinating idea. But how realistic is it to actually engineer something that mimics that kind of random, almost subconscious connection making?
Well, it's definitely a challenge, no doubt. But chasing that idea is already changing how we build development tools. Look at AWS, for instance.
What are they doing?
They've got this preview out for Kiro IDE. It's an agentic IDE powered by Claude.
Agentic meaning?
Meaning it acts more like an agent, proactively helping. It's designed specifically to tackle the quality problems we see with a lot of AI-generated code.
Okay, so less buggy code, hopefully.
That's the goal. Instead of just, vibe coding where you hope for the best, Kiro tries to produce detailed specs and user stories first before it generates the code. The idea is to cut down all that debugging time later.
Makes sense. Building a better blueprint first.
Yeah.
So tools are evolving, but the actual architecture of AI models is changing too, right, on a more fundamental level.
Oh, absolutely. Keep an eye on something called energy-based transformers.
Energy-based transformers. Okay, what's the headline there?
Well, they're a pretty new architectural development, and they're reportedly the first ones to actually outscale standard transformers, meaning they handle computation more efficiently.
How do they do that?
They dynamically allocate compute power where it's needed, and this is cool. They can apparently self-verify their own predictions.
Self-verify. Wow. That sounds like a big leap towards AI that's more autonomous, maybe less error-prone.
That's the potential, yeah. Really pushing the boundaries of what these models can do.
So Kiro IDE refining the output, energy-based transformers changing the engine. But let's pull back again, because none of this happens in isolation, right?
Not at all. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you see geopolitics playing a really significant role now. Well, the U.S. Department of Defense is granting contracts up to $200 million to the big players. Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, even xAI.
For AI development specifically.
Yes, directly aimed at tackling national security challenges, maintaining a strategic advantage globally. AI is clearly becoming a core part of that strategy.
Right. And speaking of core infrastructure, here's something surprising, maybe a bit worrying, on the hardware side. NVIDIA chips.
The backbone of AI development, basically.
Exactly. They've become the first GPUs known to fall victim to these things called rowhammer bit flip attacks.
Rowhammer. Yeah, explain that.
Okay, so essentially it's where rapidly accessing memory in one location can actually cause electrical interference that flips bits, changes data, zeros to ones or vice versa, in nearby memory cells, without even directly accessing them.
So it's a physical vulnerability leaking into the digital realm. That's pretty unsettling for hardware we relied on so heavily.
Definitely unsettling.
Yeah, the critical insight there, for everyone, developers, users, is that even the fundamental hardware isn't immune. We need to rethink security, not just in software, but like deep down in the silicon itself.
So as you can tell, the pace is just immense. We've gone from these complex corporate deals and huge philosophical shifts at places like Meta
to brand new ideas about how AI might achieve actual creativity, like that daydreaming concept.
and even critical security flaws popping up in the hardware itself. It's a lot to track.
It really is.
So what does this all mean for you? Listening right now, here's something to maybe chew on. How will all these rapid shifts the business plays, the incredible tech breakthroughs, and these frankly surprising new vulnerabilities, how will they reshape our trust in AI and how much we fundamentally rely on it in the coming years?
Yeah, definitely something to ponder as AI just keeps sprinting forward.
Spoken Tech, for your ears.